What's up, my fellow YouTubers? So today I'm going to talk about a controversial subject, how to get women to fight. And for some people that strikes a nerve because like I've heard people say to me, "Oh, it's so cruel, to try to get women to fight." Um, and I feel personally mixed emotions on that. I feel yes and no. It's cruel if there's two women that don't want to fight each other and you're trying to get them to fight. But it's not cruel if you're trying to find the right audience of women that want to fight, but yet they don't know about you. They don't know about your audience. They don't know about your fetish of watching women fight. And believe it or not, there's actually women out there that will willingly fight each other. Yet, okay, not for free. Nothing's for free. All right. So I would say if you want women to fight, there's two different types of fight. There's the real fight, and there's the fantasy fights. For me, I usually do the fantasy fights. The pages that I've worked on are used to be both. What happened was one of my pages. Um, what happened to me was that one of the guys that I allowed to be admin, and this is a lesson learned in life, turned on me and basically demoted me to just a regular viewer and took over the page. And on one hand, I was really pissed off, and on the other hand, I was kind of proud that the page that he took over took off because I really wasn't active on it, and that's one of the reasons why he demoted me. But just because I'm not active on a page doesn't mean that later on I won't want to go back to it. And I regret making not only him admin, but I regret in general. And this is something to think about when you own a Facebook page. That be careful. If you make somebody admin, they could turn on you, demote you, and take over the page. And that's one of the reasons why Facebook basically warns you, are you sure you want to do this? And a lesson learned in life. It was a great page. It still is a good page, but it sucks putting all that time and effort into it and having somebody that you made an admin demote you. And now you have to start over. And that being said, I started over with Cyberfight. And I basically do the fantasy fights. And one of the things I've noticed is that there's a lot of competition between Korean and Filipino girls. So I would make fantasy fights of Filipino versus Korean girls because I always thought that there was good chemistry. And once again, you can't do this without getting mixed reactions. You're going to offend somebody. You're going to piss somebody off. Somebody's going to say, oh, you're trying to start a war. Somebody's going to say, oh, that's so racist to start, a war between two countries. You know what? Watch UFC. It happens all the time. Japanese fighters versus Brazilian fighters. All the time. Polish fighters versus Brazilian fighters. You know, um, it's all the time. And what I do to make it entertaining is I share TikTok videos. In general, for me, I do mainly the fantasy type of stuff. And one of the groups that I've made, because in a group, is Best Female Fighters Worldwide. And basically, I'm just looking for real fighters that um, basically know how to fight. Now these fighters are real. Those two are real. Now that's the thing. I mainly do the fantasy fights, but there are actually real fighters out there that really want to fight each other in real life. If that's your thing, it's a little bit harder, but they are out there. Um, but if you're into the trash talking type of fights of women between two countries, um, again, nothing's for free, but this is probably one of the cheapest ways of doing it is you go into your ads manager on Facebook. You select which country you want. There's two countries that, let's say there's two different countries that you want them to fight each other. You select what their interests are, obviously fighting, and then you narrow it down to trash talking, narrow it down to attitude. Like, narrow it down so you're directing the traffic to the right audience. And if, depending on the country, the, some Asian countries will go for less. Um, like what I used to do was I would have a certain prize for the winner of the trash talking contest. So it would last a certain time, and whoever could trash talk the other one into quitting would get the money. If both of them didn't trash, like if it was a tie within a certain amount of time, both of them would get half. It was very interesting. Um, and to do that, you just either target two different countries that you want, the woman that you want to fight, the age, whatever, and you make sure that you're getting the right audience, and you make sure that they come to you, meaning like you're not going to them bugging them, hey, who wants to fight each other? They're coming to you with an application saying, I'm interested, I'm interested, I'm interested. And to do that, you put the message inbox in your ad, Facebook ad, and then you go through them, and you like an application, you see which ones would make a good fantasy fight for the other ones. And I would just ask them questions. Are you good at trash talking? Are you good at this? Are you good at that? And I've had some duds, but I've had some really good ones. And if that's your thing, that's the way to do it. The fake fighting. But if it's the real fights that you like, make your audience people that like real fighting, like UFC. And I would say most women in the USA or UK or the Europe bound areas that know how to really fight, you could target them and then have them come to you and say, hey, I want to host you on my page, or the ad will say, hey, who wants to be hosted on my page to fight? And you'd be surprised that there are actually women out there that will come to you saying, I'm interested, host me on your page, I want to fight somebody. And it's funny because normally if you bring up, hey, how to get two women to fight, people get so offended. Oh my God, that's cyberbullying. That's so wrong on so many levels. Here's the thing: A, there's people with that fetish that like to see a woman fight. B, there are women out there that want to fight. So that's for people that you want to target, that want to fight, to come to you. And to do that is, I would say, a Facebook ad with post engagement for your page, targeting women that like to fight with attitude between the age of 24 and 32. And you just narrow down your audience until you get, basically you want a chick with attitude and sarcasm that knows how to fight and that wants to fight somebody else. Again, if it's a trash talking one, make your own Discord. And you don't want to get in trouble on Facebook with a messenger, make your own Discord, give them the link to the Discord, have them trash talk each other in that Discord. I've never done that before, but I've done Facebook messages. The only con to that is that you never know if you're going to get, ratted out or whatever, or in trouble. So I would think that, I haven't done them in forever, but I used to do them. They're fun to do. I would think, though, that probably the safer way would be a Discord. And, well, that being said, I'm basically looking for a woman to host on my page and in my group. And maybe even on YouTube, who would win in a fight, and I would match them both up side by side, and people could vote, hey, who would win? How would they win? I do the fantasy fights. The people that I used to work with before I got booted, they would do the real fights. So I would do fantasy, they would do real. And they would have the real woman fight each other and sell the videos. That's what they would do, where I would do the fantasy. So if you have any fantasy fights, or you're one of those women that like to fight, or just for fun, a fantasy match, if you would like to be hosted on my page, you can email this, cyberfight101, or message me here, and I'd love to just, even have videos of who would win in a fight, who's the pick this week, maybe move on to the next week. Maybe for prizes. Right now, I'm broke as fuck. I'm not going to lie. yeah, I'm going through a tough time financially, but if you're one of those people that like to watch even the trash talk, this is the way to do it. Make a page, make an audience, target your audience, have maybe a small prize for the winner, make your own private group, and watch them go and make sure that it's a good one, because if it's just tell them if it's not good, I'm not going to have it, right? And there you go. I'd like your input though. If you like this video, like and follow, and I'll see you. Peace out, my fellow YouTubers.